That's it? Oh yeah, I forgot it's a very short EP. You are listening to Mr. Yuck's Chamomile EP. Or I was, at least, before going live here. I was trying to formulate the topic. I mean, I know what I want to talk about, but just trying to frame it in a way that isn't so, one-sided, one that, anybody could read and be attracted to and brought in. But yeah, I'll just wait a while here for people to come in, and then we'll get to it. SNODWARS. Where's my mic on? Yeah, it's on. We're good. SNODWARS, where we have some structure, where we talk about things. Sometimes things that, we go over during the streams, but always good to have it in one space. And I don't know if we've talked about this yet, but in the light of 4chan, being shut down, it kind of made me think, of the state of let's say, like, right-wing thought and of entryways to right-wing thought, and not having them there, or even considering that they're not the same, that the output from these institutions, I guess you could call them, haven't been good in a long time. Or maybe they have been. I don't really hang around 4chan anymore because I feel like I got everything I could. And really, I was part of the diaspora that went from 4chan to Twitter once the bots started getting really bad, around 2017, 2018. So, when I heard that 4chan got took it down by Soyjack Party, first I thought it was funny, and then they leaked, the Janny emails and names and all that. That was pretty funny, not gonna lie. But it did make me think for a second, it's like, fuck, where will people get these ideas from now? Though of course I thought about it for a second, and I was like, oh well, most of those people are on Twitter now, or they're pseudonymous on YouTube, or they got this and that. Really, the best of the best of 4chan had spread their wings long ago into other places, So it being gone wasn't really like, oh well, if anything, it was kind of a good thing. Just because, it's better for things to come to an end. Especially with something like 4chan, so irrelevant. So, I mean, it is nice to have a place that long and that old. That old, I guess. But, I think on the whole, it'd be better for everybody, even the right-wing community, to have 4chan be gone. But what I saw is right before going live is that they quietly brought it back. Yeah, they just went offline due to the leaks and the hacks, but they're back now. So, kind of threw my topic into a spin, but I could still talk. I think I got a grasp of it. Like 4chan coming back from the undead, like it having been dead, it not really being the center of the meme magic, let's say. That moved on to Twitter a long time ago, pre-COVID. And you know, even if it did move somewhere else, it's still kind of hard to find. I find Twitter isn't super good about sending me that kind of content, even though I follow those kinds of people on Twitter. Some of the cool right-wing accounts, you know, I barely get any adjacent posts. And this is post-Elon. I feel even pre-Elon I had more of a choice of people from within the sphere, you know, talking about, you know, spirituality or nature, you know, talking about fruits and astrology and all these kind of things that, you know, for me is you know, content, you know, that you would find on the paranormal boards. To me, those were the best of the best in terms of learning. Maybe not the best content, maybe not the best memes, but in terms of learning stuff, I found so much there. And though these institutions may come and go, the stuff they talk about is still wildly. Why do I always have a trouble saying that? Wildly important, which I think we'll go into now. But let me get these chats in. What's up, Perry, my brother? How you doing? Hello, Sir Pomod. Against all tendencies, will refrain from sending in 1,000 musics. You're good, man. You're good. I was thinking of going live later on Party. We could play whatever we want on there, music-wise. You know. It's pretty similar to YouTube. We can't play, you know, pure Kino. You know, they do have some moderation there. It's not complete anarchy. But I find we could play whatever music we want on Party, and that's good enough for me. Good connection too. Free discussion in general. Yes, it's a open, free discussion. Kiwi Farms. Oh yeah. I feel you would think I would have been super into Kiwi Farms, but when I kind of came into that kind of late, like during it was post-COVID, during the Falls thing, I think. That was pretty funny. But it was not funny when they got Cloudflare to take Kiwi Farms down, and then we found who was that journalist? Fuck, I forgot that one bitch journalist who her uncle like owned archive.com or something like that, or worked at Cloudflare. We should probably put some words in to have it be taken down. It was something like that. Yeah, that was like, I think 2021, maybe 22. It was such a strangely dystopian time. If it didn't feel like we were like fighting it really competently, I think I would look back on that time as, you know, a dark time. But I was fighting. I was in those tweets, you know, of those fucking tranoids trying to sell shit to kids and trying to take Kiwi Farms down, or gloating about taking Kiwi Farms down. I would be in there assaulting their brains with not logic or words, but just images and sentiments that could be read quickly and, you know, transferred into their small, fragile brains. And those were good times. That's how I got my my first Pomod account banned. But yeah, like I was saying, if we weren't fighting against those forces so competently at the time, I would look back at those times as more dystopian. But no, it's kind of like just looking back at a time of war, because we definitely live in a future where we stomp the fuck out of that shit. Liz Fong Jones. Not her exactly. Like one of the associated journalists of that square. It was some bitch that would always pretend to be way younger than she was, and she would never drink water or whatever. But yeah, shout out to Kiwi Farms. I didn't really follow them to where'd they go? Tour? That an Onion website for a while. Didn't really feel like dealing with all that shit. But I even found some stuff on Eggy. Nothing like groundbreaking, just like people talking about Eggy on Kiwi Farms. Mostly people talking about Monkey or various other people from the sphere that aren't a savory. There's some Come Town stuff on there. That's where I read about Jake Flores and how much of a dweeb he was. Welcome Chemo, welcome Scrod, how you guys doing? SNODWARS, the next generation. Gab, oh my god, when they tried to do Gab. That was sad, yeah. But I can't say shit because I went on post, to follow Eggy. But I went on post, thinking, oh, this is gonna be the next thing. In the wave of Twitter bans, pre-Elon, we were seriously considering an alternative, just to keep the meme magic alive. But yeah, luckily we didn't have to do that. It's a super duper ultra awesome right-wing hour on Twitter now that Elon is running it. No, not really. Like I said before, if anything, it's a little bit shittier. I mean, we're not getting banned, but like I'm not getting any of the good content that I used to. These background tunes are Kino. Oh, nice. I'm glad you like it. This is a Mr. Yuck Chamomile. It's a short little EP. He calls it a hardcore techno, like his own style of creepy hardcore techno. I like it too. I got Perry with a killer show on Saturday with his friends. It looked pretty badass, dude. Glad you had a great time there. Always good to get out. Just let the spirit breathe. Let the good times be had. Hell yeah, man. Bunch of weenies, yeah. Funny Junk and 8chan was my go-to back in the day. Face Mr. Yuck. I never went on 8chan that much. Didn't know of it, but I was pretty safe. I was pretty comfortable on X and Moo. And I wasn't much for like interacting with people, so I wasn't really looking for that either. Funny Junk. That was one of the first sites I think I even saw on the internet. Because I remember getting online, going on Google, and just looking up funny video or funny something, and then Funny Junk came up. And man, when I saw, like, I'm a cat, I'm a kitty cat, and a dance, and a dance. I was dying. I was dying laughing. And then my mom came into the room and was like, what are you watching? Come watch this. Pure Kino. Then the dirty Smurf animation. Of course, they would go on adding stuff as the years go by. But yeah, ding fries are done. Looking. What's the one with the squirrel? Go nuts in the lightning, in the wee. Yeah, good old Kino. But yeah, let's get back on topic. I was talking about right-wing thought, right-wing content, or whatever. No, well, just right-wing thought, I guess you could say. Right-wing. I think I wanted to make it, with the title, I wanted to make the stuff I want to tie in here to be more, like, it doesn't have to be right-wing. Because who knows, well, we will indeed live long enough to where the pendulum will swing back and left-wing will be the thing we gotta do. It's not that way right now, but what's the core thing? What's the thing that's gonna be steady and a solid constitution in between, in time? Yo, what's up, Anthol? How you doing? Good afternoon, my brother. Just woke up. Dang. Nice. Doing some hardcore gaming. Snow. Ow. Elon is a gripped elite con weenie. I got zero faith in him. Yeah. I don't hate him, he's just all about self-interest and axial and will say anything to further himself. Yeah, I think he's a pretty much a weenie as well. He's strange, but I guess they have use for his money. And I would think, in that kind of cesspit, there are some people who are like, okay, let's keep around this tard who thinks he's playing us, because I think we could play. Hopefully. But who knows, maybe they all like each other, they're all making big bales of money. But that's one of the choices you have, is you can have somebody with a super self-interest owning something, and then governing that thing in that manner, like a king. Or you could have a thing be owned by committee, or be owned by nobody, really, and have it be mismanaged or even used for worse things. Like, since we're talking about Twitter here, that was a bad thing about Twitter pre-Elon, is that the blacklisting, the suppression, the banning, it went one way, definitely. So now that it's at least owned by somebody who wants to play face, that's that's a little bit better than what we used to have. But yeah, I have no faith in Elon. That's nobody to have faith in. Because he just seems to be, on top of being a weenie, he seems to be like one of those smart people that thinks he's like way smarter than everybody else. Went to sleep at 7 a.m. Oh my god. Damn, bro. You'll take some aspirin or something to combat that, those stress hormones from severely imbalanced sleeping schedule. Damn, because that will wreck. Well, it will wreck you. But damn, is gaming so fun. 7 a.m. God damn it. Yeah. But getting to what I wanted to talk about, though. In the light of 4chan being shut down and then brought back, I think it would be important for people who are explorers, right wing or left wing, to be familiar with your it's kind of weird to say, but spirituality / philosophy, not in following one. I say both of them because the lesson isn't to follow one, but to get these modes of this information from, you know, Hermeticism, alchemy, Discordianism, the different philosophies, magic, even. Not practicing magic, but reading about it. Vedicism, Taoism. These are the things that, you know, right-wingers have been kind of confronting or putting in their brain. And if you're not a right-wing person, you would think, no way. Like, why would they do that? Don't they just, like, suck off Republicans? Like, no. You've had let's say a good 15 years of a well-read, esotericized right-wing dudes. And there isn't always a whole lot of that going around. I think you can still go on X and maybe see a magic thread or an astrology thread, but I was lucky that when I was on X, you would get people LARPing as like Hermes Trismegistus or as Krishna, and kind of like impart these teachings in the thread in a very concise way. Sadly, stuff that's lost to time, you know. And I have read a bit of Hermeticism, you know, a bit of Vedicism. I read the Tao Te Ching. I have read some spirituality, but I don't follow anything. If anything, all that stuff gets filtered through like a modern frog Discordianism, which is I guess that would be as important as the spirituality and the philosophy stuff, which could be anything, as long as you are understanding it, and as long as you're not, blindly adopting it as dogma. That's important, but doubly as important is extrapolating Discordianism or Church of the Subgenius, kind of irreligious postmodern philosophy, kind of extrapolating mimetic strength, mimetic shields from this stuff to not only protect your mind going into the future, but to create weapons. Let's say philosophical weapons, Xavier Renegade Angel type weapons of the mind, because there's no real place to learn that from. There's no TV show where this stuff is talked about. There's no site. There's no book, really. And the stuff that appeared during the meme magic era, or from any other kind of frog chaos, are extrapolations of these tenets. There are people who have read, Malcolm McLuhan or what have you. They've read Jung. They've read Discordianism. They've read Crowley. And though they don't follow any of that stuff specifically, maybe they can extrapolate the core tenets and then use that to get your own picture of the world, your own stronger picture, and also a stronger will in the world, a stronger way of acting and of creating. Because not everybody can or should just wait around for the next big meme and then copy the meme. You should be creating memes. You should be creating little awesome jewels of wisdom. One say you could be creating, or should be creating, art, which would be the next step. I mean, we do live in a new right-wing kind of world. With the stuff happening with Trump, I think we're only going to be increasing that more. But what place is there really for meme magic in that, besides, combating or reminding people of the stuff that we had to combat in that transitory time? But now that we're getting to a status quo kind of moment, which is good, like, where's that energy gonna go? I think it should go to from being the political avant-garde to being an artistic avant-garde, technological avant-garde. We get more cool people, working technology or AI. Maybe we could finally take off the restraints and let it develop as it should. Maybe we could get some new art, some new insane people in the arts. Something new. Because the political avant-garde is now... Yeah, that's my dog right there. The political avant-garde of 2016-15, we live in that future, thank God. That is now the world. But, we can't be acting like we're cutting edge, really. Because there are a lot of people out there that agree with us. It's just that for a moment there was an extreme control of media to make it seem like that was not the case. Though I would still say it's pretty close to 50-50. Maybe it's like 45-55. With the red dominating there. But yeah, that's I guess that would be something I could recommend to you guys specifically, and not to just some random person. Is that interface with Discordianism. There's quite a bit of literature and PDF files you could download. I'll reshare the Black Iron Prison, which I read on stream. You could go listen to that if you want, but reading it again is a different way of putting it into your brain. I will say though, I'm not much for reading, but when it comes to that kind of stuff, reading does put it in your brain in a much more surefire way. At least I feel. But yeah, Discordian literature. Maybe you read the Church of the Subgenius, which is something that came out in that tradition of like parody of religion and magic and all that stuff, but like within the parody are truths and wisdoms, all put forth in a kind of funny way at times, and the aesthetic is neat on top of that. Now, satire with wisdom. But yeah, Church of the Subgenius was a 70s iteration. That kind of postmodern religion is about Bob Dobbs who was a vacuum salesman. He went door to door. Then one day he decided to start a religion and to charge people for being part of it. Then he became a millionaire. And there's something about UFOs and Bigfoot in there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, it's one of the useful things in postmodern thought. Postmodern meaning like the 1900s. It's good to have that classical philosophy, that classical spirituality in there. Be acquainted with it a little bit. But reading what McLuhan was talking about. You don't have to read his books, but read his concepts. McLuhan, what the Scordians were talking about, what maybe what McKenna was talking about when he he would talk about technology and the internet. But like I said, there's not like a place to go and extrapolate this stuff from. Just kind of have to do it. You kind of have to put it together in your own brain, like Zen. Like you could read the required stuff, but in the end, you still gotta put it together in a way where your me mind is strong enough to resist attack, and also strong and creative enough to, influence positively the people in your life or the people online. Well, that's how I did it. There's no real words to tell you, just to get you, to give you that strength, to give you that creativity. Hell, maybe you don't even need to read the Discordianism or blah 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 or this and that to get that. But that is, I found that is something that greatly helped me kind of unravel this me magic moment, this power of tricksterism, of satire, of decoding, or of thinking for yourself. If I could only brainwash you to think for yourself. No. That's a famous Discordian thingy, the Discordian phrase, brainwashed to think for myself. My stupid aunt is here trying to avoid my go night mode just to avoid her. 2 weeks, oh my god. Yeah, get some of that aspirin in you. A little bit of coconut oil to reduce the stress hormones flowing through your body. Mass weapons of snot destruction. I'm a classical trickster mixed with barbarian horse. Well, that's a good way to be. That's something that I appreciate of the more right-wing style, right-wing thought, is the adopting of strength, of bruteness, the adopting of the fierceness of chaos. Hey, what's up, maid? How you doing, my brother? Good sneevenings, good weavenings, weavelings. Chaos magic. Yeah, read up on chaos magic as well. Don't practice any chaos magic, but well, if anything, if you want to learn about chaos magic, you could also read Discordianism. A good book on that is Oven Ready Chaos by Phil Hine. That book is in the Discordian tradition. There's some mentions of that book in that book. Very quick read as well. And it's a good way to interface with it because, it's a little bit satirical, not so serious. And either way, like a chaos magic practice or a spell would be like walk around expecting to find a penny. And then when you do, you're like, now you're doing chaos magic. That's the kind of stuff that is. And there is something to that, but just saying it directly, it's kind of a cringy. That's what I mean sometimes when I talk about extrapolating stuff from spirituality or philosophy or chaos magic. When you hear philosophical truths spoken out loud, they're kind of gay. They could be true. They could be very, very much true. But like when you hear them, you're like, yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, your mind dictates reality, okay. Even though that's kind of true. It's not like God level true. Only God can do that, but it is true. Took a break from most internets for a bit. Yeah, that's good. So it's good to have a good break. Poma, remember when the book The Secret came out and everybody was talking it up? Basically, all of it was chaos magic. Yeah, that whole affirmations and it's just a low form of magic, just a lowly form of magic because it's not connected to any of the traditions. Any kind of powerful magic is going to be connected to Egypt or Jews or some kind of god, the god, or demons. Yeah, chaos magic is all just about the practice. You doing affirmations or remembering what you want, just kind of obsessively, with no real tie to a tradition, which was something that kind of brought people in. It was something you could practice without like subscribing to whatever. But yeah, that's what they were doing basically. Magic, even weak magic like that, isn't without its repercussions, or it's balancing out. I've heard of people who have been into manifesting who have gone like a genie's gambit from it. It's like, oh, it was what I wanted, but it's like a horrible version of it. He's like, yeah, that's what magic is. Yeah. Trying to get something without it directly doing it. You'll do anything to do that, even interfacing with the things you should not. Oprah was promoting it. Oh yeah, it was everywhere. Even had a movie, right? I never read The Secret, but I do remember people talking about it. It was during the time where people were celebrities, really. People. The celebrities were also into Kabbalah and that kind of stuff. Like, that was a weird moment in time because I would hear like Howard Stern. I forgot what, but it's like, do you practice Kabbalah? Like, they were asking each other about Kabbalah. It's like, what the fuck? Which is also something you have to read up on. You don't have to practice it, but you should read up on the Tree of Life. A very interesting way of laying out some things. Don't practice Kabbalah. That's a totally different thing. But in terms of esotericism, the Tree of Life is an interesting graph they had. Styx is a master of chaos magic. Oh yeah, Styx and Hammer. Well, if you want to see like the results of a chaos magic practitioner, if you want to see the results of a chaos magician life, I look at his life. That's a pretty good example right there. I have it because my teacher made us read it. Really? That's kind of not good. Well, I had a teacher that had us read The Alchemist, so I guess it all depends if you have woke teachers or not. The Alchemist was pretty good though, even though it's kind of weenie spiritualism, kind of first level spiritualism. It was a pretty good book for a high schooler. But yeah, started with Aleister Crowley, then modern magic. Yeah. His thing was just combining all traditions and defiling them, because he was also like a Frankist. He thought, more degeneratism, like had things happening. The more fucked up shit you had, the more powerful the magic you would have, which I guess is a tenet of black magic. So I guess he was onto something. Yeah, magic is dangerous. Yeah. If you're gonna look into magic, just have it be like looking into philosophy. And if you don't want to look up magic, that's a use for like Discordianism and subgenius stuff. Is that in satiring it does help you get an understanding of it without having to like do like a ritual. But affirmation or mind strengthening exercises are important, yes. You do need to have strength, discernment. Luck is determined by how many stat points you put into your build. So true. It depends what race you pick. But I do like studying esoteric knowledge. Yeah, me too. It's important stuff. You just gotta watch out, Don't be adopting dogmas that aren't yours or strange. Always be grounded in something. God, mostly. The pattern of my sound dampening foam is chaos magic. So true. Whoa. Whoa, it's a... I don't know. What would it be? I guess an Aquarius sign, maybe? It's only outlined in the middle there. It could almost be like a SS, but not quite. It's too close together to be SS. Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a magician. No, I do like joking around. I do like illuminating stuff and explaining stuff. And poking at stuff and dissecting it and analyzing it. But it's not really done in a way to like, oh, I'm doing my will on the world. I'm more like just like an explorer. Mental explorer. I don't know, I have too much of a stigma on like magicians and magic to be like, to say I'm a magician. I'm just a retard. I'm just a retard. Don't mind me, I'm just a retard. And I'm having a blast. Christ is king. Exactly. Christ is king. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day. I did like Aleister Crowley's book, Diary of a Drug Fiend. But that's just a novel, basically. Is it now? I didn't know he wrote fiction. But I guess magic can be anything depending on how you use it. Yeah. Me, magic is real. Yeah, it is real. That was our version of chaos magic. Because it wasn't really tied to anything besides. I guess there was some tying into the Egyptian proto-god cake, but it was mostly just about having fun and owning the libtards and just doing what's right. We had to do what was right. And that was indeed magical, the way we did it. Yeah, those were some fun times, and we are living in the future of that. Of right-wing chaos magic of the mid-2010s. I think I like it, boys. But more like human psych conscious related, yeah, mass. The mass conscious, collective conscious, unconscious. It was just a moment in time where we did have that magic flowing through us, and now we're here. Thank God. You only manifest action through thought, but action is necessary. Thought alone is only useful to oneself. So true. If you get too caught up in thought, that will attract, people and things who want to leech off of that. So action is key. Power is key. Balls. Having some balls is key. Know what I'm saying? That's right. If anything, that's another thing to take into the future. This new right-wing future is balls. Because we've done the political avant-garde stuff, then we could put that away and pull it out, if the libtards get a little too uppity. But we go into the future with big balls, wanting to take actions, like I'm gonna do this right now, motherfucker, because I think it's cool. I think we'll be all right. I'm doing it because I want to, and also because it's God's will. That's also an important part of it too. That's a good development, I think, in the right wing, that grounding in Christianity. Super important. And though I'm not a super red Christian, I did pretty much adopt it. Because I grew up with it. I grew up in a Christian household. So, I passed the teenage, rebellion phase of like, oh, Christianity. And having lived in a world where that isn't really picked up on a whole lot, you kind of realize, damn, that's kind of like what's good in the world. It's good to be with it or have it in your heart. So that'll be after you go through the philosophy and spirituality and the Discordianism, you kind of fall into picking up Christianity as your thing, like that. If you then go and you practice and you read, that's even better. But for most people, that's not really their path to be super learned. It is good to have people like that. It's good to find people like that on Twitter, which you sometimes do. Like a Christian version of those hermetic LARPers from back in the day. But yeah, great development. But I guess I only say that because that was my path back to Christianity, was through learning about the esotericism, postmodern stuff, then using them as tools for the new barrage of stuff, with Trump, with Biden, with COVID, with the clown world. I use these tools to assort all this new and chaotic information. And in those times, you couldn't just be like trusting anybody. You don't know who's a Fed and who's being paid by who has parents. So it is good to be smart and be able to process this kind of information on your own without just copying what the meme is or what the talking head, what the right-wing talking head was saying. Cause if you're not thinking for yourself, you're gonna be pulled around by the things other people are saying. Balls is key, but one must conceal one's power level. Yeah, that's true. You do have to wear pants in public. You do have to wear pants in public. Yeah, you do. That is true. Concealing the power level. You know, above power level, there is a respect. If you have the respect of the people around you, they'll pretty much listen to any base thing you say and be like, "Oh shit, really? Damn." So yeah, so understating yourself is kind of key to that at times. The world is lost, but we can save ourselves. Yes, exactly. Fucking exactly. And that's how it felt. You know, in COVID as well. Felt like, shit. World's ending, but here we are fighting against it. By being cozy. Radical cozy. Yeah, monitoring, definitely. I mean, it's so easy to monitor. Just kind of assume it's all being looked at. That's why I'm not much of a doing something about it kind of guy. It's like we gotta take action. I don't really believe in that. I always think that they're instigating action. I think they want us, or at times they really wanted us to do something so they could bring down the hammer. But I think if that's gonna happen, it can't be under their game, under their disturbance. I think that's why meme magic works so well. I think that's why when we tapped into the collective unconscious, it helped us to arrive to this world right here. And you can be brought along with that, like a wave. It did bring us, a lot of us, along. But if you learn how to ride it, you could tap into that whenever. And into a real way to where, if you're faced with the evil right in front of you, you don't gotta wait for the collective consciousness to shift around you. You could just act on it immediately. Oof. Oh shit, my bad. Yeah. That was loud as fuck. What the fuck? My bad. It's probably the most horrifying thing to have be that loud. Jesus. That's super compressed. That's Yellow Metal by Mr. Yuck. This was a musical style he was trying to push for a while. It's like breakbeat but super distorted. It's not really metal-y, but it's definitely hardcore techno. Oh wait, no, I forgot. Yeah, hold on. I forgot about the porn in the Bandcamp page. Well, I'll share the link here. Yeah, even having that still image there gets a YouTube parental warning or whatever. YouTube. It's been the soundtrack for the night, Mr. Yuck. Typically I go Ferraro, but even that's been getting copyrighted. Some bullshit. But yeah, I think I got everything I wanted to say off my chest for the most part. Thank you guys for the back and forth as well. You know, open dialogue means open to you. Always interested in what you guys have to say. Because you know, when I go off into a pseudo monologue, you know, there's only so many things that you could jot down or say at one point. You know, a lot of stuff gets passed over. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Yeah, this was spurred by 4chan getting shut down, but now it's back. But really, you know, back from the undead. I stopped using 4chan 2017 about, you know, it was so botted, so unusable. Even every single thread, you know, derailed by political bots or maybe even just political retards. Maybe not even bots at all, but just political retards. And I just thought, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. I heard people, you know, had been going over to Twitter. I thought, I'll try to go in pseudonymous mode. But before that, I thought, you know, Twitter? Okay. That sounds fucking gay. But for a while there, it was good. There's a lot of Kino, a lot of cool information. But it seems like it's been kind of dead for a while now. Or maybe it's so broken that it just stifles anything. Though I always think kindly back to Twitter. You know, it hasn't been good in a while either. So where is it? Where is the Zeitgeist gone? Sojak Party? I've gone on there. You know, it's lively, but it doesn't seem like it has the balls that, you know, they used to be there. Or maybe we're waiting for the balls to come back. Who knows? Snow. Well, maybe one day it will. Maybe sooner than we think it will. It's always darkest before the dawn. That's right. Oof. Well, yes, I think I'll wrap it up here at a good 1 hour. That's a good length for a Snodcast, open dialogue. I think if it was up to me, I would have probably stopped half an hour ago. But thank you to you guys for keeping the conversation rolling. Thank you, Anthol and Maid, Chemo, Scroot, Perry. I think I might fire up that party so we could jam. I know what's it called? I know Perry wanted to send in some jams, but I didn't want to play anything too crazy, you know. We'll play whatever on party though. I'm gonna share that link real quick. Yes, I know. We have to create one more account, I know. Alrighty. That was pretty good. Happy with how that one turned out. guest starring coaster right here. Just hanging. Hecking meatball meatloaf. Yeah, look at him. He just stays like that too. We bought him we bought all the dogs some parasitic cleansing because we feel like he is a bit too big. We always get people telling us he's pretty big. I mean, he can still get around, and he's faster than he looks. But I'm thinking, yeah, he needs some kind of something. Because it could be a parasite. Could also he needs like a thyroid. Something like that, maybe. Which I have some desiccated thyroid, which I sometimes give to the dogs. In his case, I think it's also, you know, got neutered. You know, taking away that hormone production center of the balls, you know, that does typically lead to weight gain. Because they all eat the same stuff, and he's the biggest. Looks dense, solid, chunk, yeah. Thank you. Some doggy exercise DVDs, yeah. Do some crunches. And it's weird, he looks like he's got abs. Sometimes. Like you can see the line down here. So maybe he's just like fucking dense. Maybe he is big boned. Yeah, that's Coaster, roller coaster right there. He's a cool dude. I'm sure he enjoyed our philosophical diatribe. Alright. Peace out for reals this time.